And we're back.
Okay. All right. Do you mind just sharing your screen again?
Yep.
All right. Thanks. We need to approve the agenda. Pablo or Mike, would either of you like to make a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. So Mike approves.
Second here.
Okay. Pablo seconds. All in favor?
Yeah, right.
Aye. Okay. Any opposed? Okay. So approval of the March 12th minutes. Mike and Pablo, have you had a chance to read those?
Yeah, I glanced through everything.
Okay. Pablo, have you?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay. Do either of you have any corrections or changes that you feel like need to be made?
No, really, I don't have a copy handy right now, so.
All right, Mike?
I don't have anything that needs to be changed.
Okay. All right. So which one of you would like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
Motion to approve here.
All right. Pablo first. Mike, you want a second?
Yeah, I second.
Okay. And then, so I concur. So all are in favor. Okay. So moving on to file number 3955 updates.
So we are closing out file 3915. Our update is that the board has agreed to give the Burchards the difference between the 365 and then their original guarantee value, which was 430. So that brings it to $65,000 that NW Heat will cut them a check for upon closing.
Okay.
That is our update.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. And guest speaker, Jim Wheaton.
Okay, that's me. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep. Good evening.
Okay. Ivy, I think you have to take your thing down.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
All right. Well, as your agenda states, I'm the executive director for the Chicago Community Land Trust, and I'm here to do a presentation about some of the things the Land Trust does. Back in what seems like the very distant past before the pandemic, Ivy and myself and folks from the Bungalow Initiative and from the Southwest Home Equity Assurance Program had several meetings to talk about issues related to keeping homes affordable in neighborhoods where, property values and particularly property taxes are going up pretty dramatically. Well, the Chicago Community Land Trust has a program that might be of interest to some people in your neighborhood areas, and I'm going to talk about that. So if everything works, there we go. Okay. So, and this isn't a super long PowerPoint, so don't panic. The whole idea of the Community Land Trust in Chicago, and we're one of close to 300 community land trusts around the country, but the whole idea is that we are focused on keeping homeowners in their homes, in their neighborhoods, keeping their communities affordable, or at least some of the homes in the neighborhood affordable. So the Community Land Trust in Chicago is a nonprofit. It was formed back in 2007, probably the worst time in the last 2 decades to start a kind of housing real estate based program, but we did it. And the mission was to create and sustain affordable homeownership in Chicago. We, as a not-for-profit, we have a board of directors. We are a tax-exempt 501c3, and our board of directors includes residents from around Chicago, some lenders, some staff from nonprofit agencies, and some housing advocates and folks who are focused on housing policy. Currently, we have 104 homes in the Chicago Community Land Trust.
Excuse me, John.
And
I'm
yes.
Sorry. You want to share your PowerPoint. I don't think we can see it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay, hang on a minute.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what I did here. Okay. Let's go back.
Yeah, it's okay. You want to go to share screen down at the bottom.
Oh, okay. There it is. I knew there would be something.
There we go. All righty.
There we go. Okay, sorry about all that.
Oh.
There we go. Okay, so this was my introductory screen. I talked about that already. So let's go on. So as I'm saying, we have 104 homes in our community land trust right now. They are a mix of single-family homes, townhomes, and condominiums. Since we started way back in 2007, we've had a working agreement with the Cook County assessor that the homes in the community land trust would be assessed according to their affordable value and not their market value. And that's become more and more important as time has gone on, because we have homes in places like Humboldt Park and Avondale and Hermosa and downtown and Bridgeport and Logan Square, where prices are going up and property taxes are going up when those prices go up. And so our agreement with the assessor is that they will assess these homes based on their affordable value as participants in the community land trust. The homes that are in our land trust have what's called a restrictive covenant. And this is common with a lot of land trusts around the country, where there is stipulations that when the home is sold or resold, it would be resold at an affordable price. And then recently, just the start of this year, we added a new initiative called the Affordable Homeownership and Housing Program, AHHP. And that includes money that will allow us to increase the supply of affordable home ownership both now and in the future. And part of that program is what we call the Optin Program. And that's really what I want to talk about tonight more than anything else. As part of the AHHP program, homeowners whose home ownership is being threatened by rising property taxes and choose to opt into the Chicago Community Land Trust and get the benefit of those reduced property taxes, again, based on what would be an affordable value for their home and not necessarily the market value. We're also offering grants of up to $30,000 for homeowners who do that, so that they can do home repairs inside or out, make their homes more accessible, or make their homes more energy efficient if that's what they choose to do. Those owners who opt in will sign our affordable housing agreement and restrictive covenant, which will keep the home affordable for the next 30 years, no matter who the owner is. That agreement passes on from owner to owner when the home is sold. So who's eligible? Well, first of all, the kinds of properties that are eligible for opting in are single-family homes, townhomes, condominiums, and two flats. Homes throughout the city of Chicago are eligible. We don't have any particular target areas limiting participation. So quite frankly, if somebody in Lincoln Park wanted to put their multi-million-dollar home into the land trust, we'd say fine. There's no income restrictions on owners who choose to opt in. A lot of programs often have a limit on how much money people can make. But in this case, for the opt-in program, we do not have an income limit for the owners who are choosing to opt in. So anyone opting in is eligible to receive a grant, and then opt-in homes will be assessed with the assessor's office according to their affordable value. And we will calculate an affordable value based on the size of the home and certain assumptions we make about the future. So what are the requirements of somebody who chooses to opt in? Well, first of all, the person who owns the home has to live in it as their principal residence, meaning that more than half of the year, that's where they reside. Certainly, if somebody has a home in Florida and they want to go down there to get away from Chicago's winters for 4 months, that's fine, but their home in Chicago would have to be their principal residence. When the home is sold, the sales price must be affordable for what we call folks at the median income. And there's formulas in the housing agreement that specify how that is calculated. Homes must be sold to buyers who are at or below that area median income. So again, if someone is selling their home, there's a price that's determined that's affordable, and then the buyers have to be basically, kind of working moderate income folks. And then while they're in the home, the owner has to maintain the home in a safe condition, which of course everybody wants to do for their home, and pay their mortgage and their taxes and keep the home insured. What's important to point out here is that when someone opts into the community land trust, they are still the owner of the home. The land trust does not own the home. They are the owners. What they have chosen to do is to put certain requirements on the home so that when it is sold, it will remain affordable for the next buyer and the next buyer, et cetera, for the next 30 years. So, as I said, the agreement runs for 30 years, and every subsequent home buyer takes on the obligations until that term ends. So, if a home sells every 5-6 years, then there's going to be 5 or 6 different owners who will be bound by this particular agreement. The agreement also has special provisions for family members to inherit the home. So, let's say the owner passes away, and a son, a daughter, a spouse, wants to continue to own and live in the home, they can do that. There's no income restrictions on them doing that. However, if there's no immediate family members, then there are other provisions as to how that would be handled. But members of the family could still retain ownership of the home if they meet those conditions. Again, the owner owns the home. The owner can sell it at any time for the price that's calculated according to those formulas in the agreement. And owners can use all of the property tax exemptions that there are. So there's the homeowner exemption. If the owner is a senior, they can get the senior tax exemption. If they're a veteran, there's a disabled veteran, there's special tax exemptions for disabled veterans, depending on the extent of their disability. So all of those exemptions are still available to folks on top of the reduced property taxes based on that affordable value. And so what is that affordable value? So we calculate that based on the number of bedrooms, and we project the costs of property taxes, insurance, and if it's a condominium or part of a homeowners association, what those fees are. So essentially we use what the federal government uses in terms of determining what is affordable. And that is that a household is not spending more than 30% of their gross income on their housing expense. So that's often a fairly sizable amount of money, if someone is at the median income, but that's considered affordable. And, maybe folks don't spend that much. Actually, in my lifetime, I don't think I've ever come close to spending 30% of my gross income on housing, but that's the standard that's used. So, and we calculate that based on the area median income charts that are put out every year by the federal government. So for instance, today, if you're a household of 4, the median income for the Chicago area, and this is not just the city, but the Chicago area, because the federal government looks at the 6-county area when they determine this. The median income for a household of 4 persons is $91,000. So if someone had a community land trust property today and was selling it, and they had the intent to sell it to somebody who was at had a household of 4 people, those buyers could not have more than $91,000 a year in income. Again, the price would be set at such a level that it would be affordable for them not to spend more than 30% of their income on housing. And that affordable value also becomes the basis for the property tax assessments and the property tax bills that the assessor will send out. So when somebody joins the community land trust, we have paperwork and forms that they complete, or we complete, and they sign them, and we submit those to our contact person at the assessor's office, and those properties are then assessed on that basis of that affordable value. So it's a savings that can be fairly substantial over time. So for instance, let's assume the market value of your home is $350,000 today, just like the one you were just talking about, where you're paying out the guaranteed amount. So based on a rule of thumb that property taxes typically run about 2% of the value of the home, taxes on that home would be about $7,000 a year. without any of the homeowner exemption or senior exemptions or anything like that. And just, doing a very simple calculation, if your home value goes up by 2.5% per year, an owner who has that home will save somewhere between $1,700 and $2,000 annually in property taxes. So with a $30,000 grant for home repairs and those tax savings, an owner who opts into the Community Land Trust will receive approximately $49,000 in a benefit over a 10-year period. And that could make the difference for someone who would otherwise be unable to stay in their home because their tax bill could actually price them out of the home if they had not opted in. And for someone who's been in their home a long time and wants to stay in the home and in the neighborhood, having a grant to make the home more comfortable, to make it safer, to replace the roof, replace the furnace, or put in central air conditioning, or make it more accessible, all of those things that they could spend that $30,000 on so that they can remain in their home safe and comfortable for as long as they want. So we are a very small staff, much like your staff. There's just two of us. Myself, I'm the executive director, and then Destiny Edmonds, who is our outreach coordinator. She does the classes that help people get prepared for buying a home and for becoming part of the Chicago Community Land Trust. We do an orientation session about the land trust twice a month, and in fact, Destiny is doing one tonight for about a half a dozen new buyers or potential buyers who are interested in joining the Community Land Trust by purchasing a home that's in our portfolio. Right now, we have, as I said, 104 homes in our land trust. Of those, there's 3 of them that are up for sale. Owners are moving on. One is a small 1-bedroom condo downtown. One is a 3-bedroom condo up in Avondale. And the third one is a 2-bedroom condo in Albany Park. But we also have homes that are being constructed that will be part of the land trust. Soon there will be, we've got a half a dozen townhomes being built out on the near west side, another 7 townhomes in the North Lawndale neighborhood. Soon they will be breaking ground on a 34-unit condominium building in Lincoln Park. And we've got a dozen townhome units that are being developed as part of a larger development in McKinley Park, and another townhome that's being built now in Bridgeport. So as time goes on, we will have more new homes, plus as part of our AHHP program this year, we have been given a grant so that we can go out and actually buy homes and rehab them and resell them at an affordable price. So we'll be adding homes to our portfolio that way. But first and foremost, I think for tonight, I wanted folks to know about our Optin program, because it's a benefit that could be available for homeowners who feel like it's the way they want to go. It'll help people stay in their neighborhood if that's where what they want to do. And it'll provide savings on their property taxes so that they can afford to stay in the neighborhood. It's not for everyone. I'll be the first one to say that. It may very well be that, homeowners are more concerned about looking for a larger home somewhere else, and, they want to just sell and move on. But there are also owners, and I've talked to a lot of them in different neighborhoods around the city, who have lived in the neighborhood a long time, 10, 15, 20, 25 years in some cases, and really don't want to move, but are afraid that as taxes go up, they can't afford to stay. Some of our owners in Humboldt Park have seen their neighbors on either side of them with absolutely identical homes have their tax bills increased by $10,000 a year, while our owners, who are part of the land trust, have stayed at a very affordable level. So anyway, I'll be happy to take any questions. If you need any other information, I can certainly send that on to Ivy, and she can pass it along to you.
I guess, hi Jim, this is Carrie. I was curious if you happen to have like a kind of like a example scenario of, I know you've got after 10 years, you've saved $45,000, but for example, you buy a home at this price. And so your you're saving this much on property taxes over the years. And then when you go to sell, this is like the maximum that you could make on yourself, because people look at real estate as an investment, as something they want a return on. So is there a potential return on investment if you join this program, or is it pretty much no?
Well, there certainly is. First of all, there's, as I said, there's 3 formulas in the housing agreement, and the one that typically is used, and I'll try and walk through it. I didn't do a slide for it. It's a little complicated, but not. I can explain it. On the day that someone chooses to opt in, or let's say somebody purchases a home that's part of the community land trust, on that given day, there is a market value on that home that's been determined by an appraiser. And if someone is opting in, we would order an appraisal to find out what the market value is. There's also an affordable value, or an affordable purchase price if it's somebody just buying it for the first time. And that's been determined either by our calculation of what is affordable, or by, if it's a new development, by a similar calculation that becomes part of the development. So anyway, there's a difference between the market value and the affordable value. It may be a $35,000 or $40,000 difference. Some of our recent sales, it's been $150,000 difference. So those are the 2 numbers: affordable value today and market value. The amount of that difference, there's a sliding scale that to which we assign a percentage for a share of appreciation in the future. So the smaller difference between affordable and market value, the share of appreciation will be 25%. When you get over $100,000, the share of appreciation will be 12%. And then there's numbers in between. So let's say you have that home and you buy it today, and 5 years from now you go to sell it and it's gone up in value, market value, $100,000. And your share of appreciation is 25%. So 25% of $100,000 is $25,000. We add that to what your original affordable purchase price was and say, okay, this is now your maximum resale price. This is what you can sell it for. This is affordable. So you have paid down your mortgage to a certain amount. You've gotten your equity in form of down payment, and you are getting a share of the appreciation in the market value, while the home still remains affordable for that next buyer who will be at or below the median income. Sure. So it's now there are land trusts around the country who have a much more strict limit on how much equity people can take, but we have this sliding scale so that folks will get a share of appreciation. And we also say that the maximum resale price will never be less than what the affordable price that you paid. So, like what happened between 2008 and 2013, 2012, when property values went down, we had folks who sold, and even though the market value had really tanked, their maximum resale price was still at that affordable price that they paid. They didn't lose anything in that regard.
Okay. And just one other question. So let's say someone owns a home right now and they want to join.
Okay. So we would look at, first of all, we would have an appraisal done of their home. What is the market value today? Then we would look at that home. Let's say it's a 3-bedroom home. We operate on the assumption in our calculation that a home is going to have 1.5 persons per bedroom. Sounds silly, but that's the way it is. So we would calculate what is affordable for a household of 4.5 people at the median income, taking into account what the taxes, the insurance, if they have a homeowner association fee or a condo fee, taking those things into account, what would be affordable for that family of 4.5 people spending no more than 30% of their gross income on housing. And from that, we, based on market or current mortgage rates, and assuming that people would have a 3% down payment, you can back into what is an affordable sales price today. So we would say, okay, your home is worth a certain amount in the market. Here's what would be the affordable price today And that is the number that we would use in our report to the assessor's office for future tax bills. That this is the affordable value, and this is now part of the land trust.
Okay.
So when they go to sell, we're going to be looking again at that affordable value and then what the new market value is compared to the market value today in doing our calculation of the resale price. As I said, this is not for everyone. I mean, obviously there are going to be people who have a mortgage that's close to or even more than what the affordable value may be for whatever reason. I mean, certainly that happened, you know, during the housing decline when folks were underwater with their mortgages. I mean, it's obviously not going to work for them. But let's say you have a long-term owner who has a very small mortgage balance or no mortgage balance at all, and who says, you know, hey, I've been here most of my life and I want to stay here. And when I leave, I want them to be carrying me out feet first. You know, I'm not interested in, you know, whether or not I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm more interested in being in a home that I enjoy, in a neighborhood I enjoy, with the folks I know, and you know, the church and the grocery store and all the rest of that. So,
Well, I mean, it definitely seems like a more desirable option than a reverse mortgage.
Yeah, I mean, reverse mortgages. I used to be a reverse mortgage counselor for a nonprofit, and reverse mortgages have their place. Again, not for everyone, though. I've seen some situations where my own mother-in-law, who got a reverse mortgage and was able to stay home until the day she died and use that money to pay for full-time care. And I'm convinced it probably extended her life 3 years. So
that's great.
Okay, anyone else? Questions?
Well, thank you so much, Jim. I greatly appreciate you taking time to join us tonight to explain the program that you guys have. And definitely we will continue the conversation with our board along with Southwest to see how we can fit in this puzzle. So thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you very much. I may still hang on and listen to your meeting, but in the meantime, I'm going to mute myself and take my screen down.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Stop sharing. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so it's my turn. Okay, so the executive director report. I am going to pull this up. Give me 1 second. And this should be very short and sweet. Sorry. Okay, so for the executive director's report for June, right now, all our files have been stored at our new location, which I am sitting at. So they are all actually in the closet. And we're currently scrubbing all the data and contacting people from our Salesforce to update information. And that goes into our mass mailing and outreach. I'm kind of skipping down. But with our mass mailing and outreach, we do have some information that should be coming back, or actually a mock-up from our designer that we will work with to send out. And also I did some research on, I know we had about 2,000 envelopes here that we had left over from the previous administration, and I was seeing what we can do with it. So I've been in contact with the post office to see if we could use those permits and how we can start our it's a business account with the post office, so how we can restart our business account with them. So I will keep you guys abreast on that outcome, and perhaps we could just do our mailing with those without having to recommission new envelopes. We just kind of put our new logo over the old logo and use the envelopes with the permit and pay the money through there. So we once had an account with them. It ended about 2 years ago because we hadn't done a mass mailing in 2 years. Next one was Jim Whedon. So he is speaking with us, and thank you again about the Optin program. I just spoke about our marketing materials. So we still have our folders, but we will have a trifold available in the next couple weeks. Our program enrollees, so we currently, and that has changed, we have actually a couple more program enrollees that we have been in contact with. So we have at least 3 appraisals going out this week. People are really joining the program, very interested. So we're excited to see this influx of people, and we're hoping to continue to nurture those relationships and get more people to join. Our outreach again, we have released videos so far monthly. I look to do some more videos. This one is being recorded now, and it will be up on our YouTube channel, which we have, as well as streamed through our Facebook. So everybody can see our meetings now. Home improvement loan. So we have 1 loan closed in May, and right now we have a couple people that are interested and that are working with Marquette. So as soon as those close, I will let you guys know. And a little bit of that is in our report for, and it's not on here, so I'll just go ahead and talk about it. Our banking committee, we meet monthly. So we've been working through ideas to continue the momentum and get people on board. And one of them was absolutely with our mailing. So our mailing does have a part on it that's mostly about the home improvement loan program and then how to join our program. So, and then board training is no updates yet because we just moved into our new place. So hopefully we can host it here. And we have been in our new location since the state shut down. So now that we are back open, we are moving in and we're getting everything together to be 100% open in the next couple weeks. And I think that is it. I think I covered everything. Any questions for me? Okay, no questions. Go ahead, Carrie. That was my part.
No, I was just unmuting.
Okay.
Okay. Do you mind pulling the agenda back up again?
Sure, no worries.
I see Diane's here.
Okay, perfect. And here.
I'm sorry, I'm working, and that's why I forgot.
That's okay. Hey, Diane.
Hi, did you need me for anything real fast? No? Okay, I see that you're recording this,
Yes, I am.
so I'll look at it later somehow.
Okay. I'll clean it up too, so it won't be as choppy. You. Thank you for coming.
No problem. I gotta go. Bye.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Okay. Déjame entonces ahora aquí.
Okay.
Okay. So
We're at number 8.
right. Okay. So then, so this is public comment for anything that is not on the agenda. If anyone would like to make any.
I don't know if this is the right time for this or not, but I did have a question.
Sure.
And first of all, we are right in lawyer review now with the selling of our house, and everything seems to be going really great. So thank you all very much.
Yes.
The one question we have, normally when you sell your house and you have your closing date, you walk away if you've made a profit on your sale with a check so you can move on to your next home. This is a little bit different. So when we close, we're actually going to have to bring money to the closing, unfortunately. We're ready for that. But thank goodness for this program, then we'll eventually get a check. My question is, though, is how long will that take to get the check? I talked about this with Ivy before, but I thought I'd like to get the input of the whole board. I mean, we're closing on the 14th of July, but we're staying in the house till the 29th of July. We're going to rent back for 2 weeks from the new owners. And then we're off on our way to Virginia. So if it's at all possible, we would love to have the check in our hand as we drive out of the city of Chicago. If that's possible, we can get you all the paperwork from the closing, whatever you need, but we're just wondering what it'll entail. And, you know, and if it can't be in that 2 weeks, great. I mean, well, not great, but it is what it is. But we are looking at new homes in Virginia. So we need to know we're going to use that money for the down payment when we can actually start trying to close on a home there.
Mr. Bouchard, and I sent a letter. You guys didn't receive the letter yet. And like I said, you could pick it up Monday, and I'll email it to you after this meeting. But the letter to the board stated that you'll receive your check within 10 to 15 business days.
So it'll be 10 to 15 business days.
Yep.
We can just like pick that up at the office, or?
Yes, so I know one of the board members will have to come sign it, but yes, you can come pick it up in the office. Once someone comes sign it, it's available to you. But that's once we receive the documents and we identify that everything.
Believe me, I'll drive straight from the closing to your office and bring them right to you. There'll be no delay in that, I guarantee.
I put a little time in there for us to go through the documents, for the board to look at the documents, and then for someone to come sign the check. So.
Fantastic. I'll just sit outside and wait for those 2 weeks.
Yeah, so,
bring me a sandwich every once in a while.
Yeah, I hope it will be sooner, but I just wanted to put enough cushion because our board is a working board, and I want to be very understanding of their time, and respectful of their time, and so that's why I gave it kind of that 2-week window. But I'm hoping we can get it done a lot quicker.
Fantastic. We really appreciate everything you all have done. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much again. I spoke to you earlier, and I want to say this before the board. They have been very patient with us as we kind of work through this as an organization. So I greatly appreciate the Bouchards with their patience, and it was a great learning curve for us and help us move forward with what we need to do to bring this organization up to speed with the current real estate market. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's move on to old business. Do we have any old business to cover?
I know. We're just here. This is the old business. I'm in
That's new though.
Yet, but yeah.
Okay, so moving on to number 10, new business.
So I gave the board a copy of the program guidelines and procedures draft and update. So that is for you guys to review. The parts that are highlighted in red, I wanted to bring attention. Those are some of the changes because this is not open yet to the public because we will have to publish this. I want you guys to look at it before we publish it, make any changes. And once those changes are made, we'll publish in a newspaper and open it up for review for the community. So I want you guys to take a look at my changes first and then allow the community to have their input.
All right.
So if the board can give me their recommendations, any changes back in the next, hopefully 2 weeks, that'd be great. So I could give the community 30 days to respond. I'll actually post the updated version on our website. And then after that, we can go ahead and do a resolution to implement the changes. So
okay,
yeah, that's
good.
My only request to the board. So
okay, all right. So in that case, Mike, Pablo, would either of you like to make a motion to adjourn?
I can make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, Pablo, would you like to second? Is Pablo still with us?
I think so. I saw his name. Yes, he's here.
Okay. Pablo? Well, I'll second it.
I
Can't.
love Zoom. Okay.
All right, so all in favor? I guess there's only 2 of us now that are still that you can hear.
Okay.
So Mike's already said yes, and
Yep.
I said yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Pablo.
sorry. Yeah. I
Pablo,
lost my screen.
do you give vote yes to adjourn?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, so we adjourned at 7:21. That was the time. 7:22.
And I look forward to everyone. Well, we'll work out the kinks, but most of you guys coming to the office for our next board meeting in August. So
Yeah. Sounds good.
all right. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Ivy, for all your work, hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See y'all.
Night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.